Can't you guys just hear Trump right now going, Letitia James, na boo boo, na boo boo. What is going on, everybody? I am Ty Smith. Welcome to my channel, Modern Renaissance Man. I really appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to view my videos and the content I put out that you so love. But if you really do love it, make sure you are hitting that button right there so that this video can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. Make sure you follow me on all platforms you see listed up here and down here, all right? Appreciate it. Also, the products that you may or may not see in this video are all products that I use to do content creation. It's products that I use to feed my dog, and it's also products that I use on myself when it comes to using natural things, okay? Just wanted to put that out there. It didn't cost you nothing for that. Ladies and gentlemen, you know I like to deliver good news. You know I do. You know I do. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this particular case with Letitia James, who's trying to keep herself relevant. She's trying to keep herself relevant. She already went after Trump for the $300-some million surplus with interest and all that, right? And hopefully Trump will catch wind of Letitia James calling him too male, too pale, and too stale. And I told you guys Trump should fire back by calling her whack, black, and fat. You know, that's what he should do. But in this particular case, she's sly, wide, cockeyed, and her trying to get my appeal taken away has been denied. Yeah. Check it out.
The judge in former President Trump's New York civil fraud case has just ruled on a new challenge from New York Attorney General Letitia James. She wanted to have Trump's $175 million bond rejected, but the court says his bond will stand. Here's what the former president had to say ahead of that ruling this morning.
We have another trial going on right now. That's Letitia James. She campaigned on the fact that I will get Trump. I'm going to get Trump. And it has to do with a bond of $175 million. She doesn't want me to participate with financial companies in New York, so we have a company, I guess, based in California. I put up $175 million in cash, and she's questioning the bonding company.
Fox Business's Lydia Hugh is here with more. Lydia.
Hi there, Emily. There have been many appearances and hearings before Judge Arthur Engoron during the course of this civil fraud trial. Many of them have been contentious, but this one stands out because the parties were surprisingly collaborative. The hearing lasted for about an hour, and during that time, the lawyers for Trump and the state attorney general's office came to an agreement about the bond. Now, questions had swirled around the company underwriting the bond. That's Knight Specialty Insurance Company. It always maintained that Trump posted cash as collateral to secure the bond. But the attorney general raised questions about how that account was managed and who had access to it and whether Knight Specialty could pay the bond if needed. So to address those concerns, here's what both sides agreed. The cash that Trump put up as collateral will remain as cash in a Charles Schwab account. Knight Insurance will have exclusive control of that account. No one will trade or withdraw the money. Knight Insurance and Trump will provide monthly statements to the attorney general's office and the court proving that the balance remains $175 million. We got to speak to attorney Alina Habba, who is counsel for the former president. Here's her reaction after the hearing.
Ms. James wanted to argue and say that our cash somehow isn't green enough. 1 hour, the attorney general and that judge realized quickly that they had no idea what they were talking about. We came to an agreement that everything would be the same. We would modify terms, and that was it. This is where your taxpaying dollars are going.
Breaking news.
And whoever heard of this, he got indicted for that? People in the court just said to me, I can't believe it. This is the case. So we did nothing wrong. The other thing is, if this were such a great case, why didn't the Southern District bring it? Who looked at it, turned it down? Why didn't numerous other agencies and law enforcement groups look at it? Because it was shown to everybody. And very importantly, why didn't the federal elections do anything about it? Because this is federal, it's not state. They're trying to make it a state case, whatever. And it's not state, it has nothing to do. It's never happened before, I believe. Never happened before. This has never happened before, where the state tries to insert itself in federal elections. Nobody's ever seen it. But you know, federal elections took a total pass on it. They said essentially nothing was done wrong, or they would have done something about it. They're tough. They would have done something about it. But they said nothing, and they said, we're going to take a pass. Because they couldn't even believe it. Actually, if you read their letter, they couldn't even believe it. They were incredulous. And yet, Bragg picks it up. Now, with Bragg, if you look, when he first came in, he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. Now, when are they going to look at Pomerantz and what Pomerantz did? Because that's bad stuff. And when are they going to look at all the lies that Cohen did in the last trial? He got caught lying in the last trial. So he got caught lying, pure lying. And when are they going to look at that? Now, we'll go to another subject, because just a few blocks away, as you know, they had a trial on the $175 million. That's Letitia James. It's all coming out of the White House, by the way. And that's in front of Judge Engoron. And the judge really didn't know anything. He didn't know about collateral security. He said, supposing it goes down. Well, it doesn't go down because it's cash. I put up $175 million in cash, and we have a bonding company do it. And he challenged the bonding company that maybe the bonding company was no good. Well, they're good, and they also have $175 million of collateral, my collateral. But the judge didn't know anything about it. He didn't know what the $175 million cash meant. He had no idea what anything meant. And he had no idea what he did in the trial. And he charged me hundreds of millions of dollars on something where I'm totally innocent. But if you look at what happened today, Judge Engoron should not have done that trial. It should have gone to the business division where they have complex business trials. But actually, it should have never been brought because I didn't overestimate. You know, they say I overestimated. If you look at the numbers, they're underestimated. I underestimated. I did the opposite of what they said. And the reason that they tried to, and they did it for their own narrative, they valued a $1 billion asset at $18 million. They valued other assets in as little, in order to build their narrative. They want to build a narrative. But if you look, and I have a complete record of what happened, Judge Engoron had no idea what was going on, didn't understand the most simple concepts. And this is the man that took a case, and this is why businesses they're moving out of New York, because they can't be subject to this. They'd be put out of business. They're moving out of New York because of it. But Judge Engoron had absolutely no idea what had happened. He didn't realize we put up 175, but when he found out we put it up, he said, what happens if it goes up or down? I said, it doesn't, or they said, it doesn't go up or down. It's cash that we put up, all cash. Very few people could do that. And the deal was approved with the Attorney General, if you can believe that. But the deal was approved. She just tried to embarrass everybody, and she tried to embarrass a very good bonding company by saying they weren't creditworthy. Well, they were creditworthy, and what was more important is they had a security, $175 million that I put up. But the point here is that the judge had no idea what was happening. And this is the same judge that 2 months ago made a ruling that shook the world. It shook the world because everyone knows going to that trial I did nothing wrong. And over here, I did
it out much like an attorney would in making his point about this case. You know, Kaylee, the entire time we were watching, everybody was just like, yeah, okay, we get this.
He is on message. That is someone who is on message. He laid out, actually, things I have in my notes. SDNY didn't bring the case. The Federal Election Commissioner doubted the case. Cyrus Vance didn't bring the case. Well, what happened between we can't bring this case, the facts don't match the law, and today, last February, when Alvin Bragg brings the case? An intervening fact happened. President Donald Trump decided to run for president. It is my belief that that played into this. How is this case dead as a doornail, unprecedented, according to the New York Times, unprecedented, according to Trusty, a lawyer, but we bring the case after Trump decides to run for president? I leave that with you.
You said something earlier this hour, and I know you've been looking for connective tissue with the current president to further those political points. Who was leading the opening statement today against the president?
Matthew Colangelo, who used to be the #3 under Merrick Garland at the Department of Justice. He left that cushy job at the Department of Justice to go be a line prosecutor in a city office. That shows how coordinated this is. It's not just him. In fact, there was a law firm here in New York City that's known as a Democrat law firm that handed over a few of its attorneys to help bring charges against Donald Trump. This is part of a widespread and coordinated effort, and I think everyone kind of knows it. But it is really interesting to me to see this man out there today, and you look at how so many Republicans can't even handle a minute of negative coverage from the media. And this guy has people attempting to bankrupt him, imprison him. You have actual House members trying to remove Secret Service protection from him. And he knows that if he were to just be no threat to the regime, it would all go away. And every day he gets out there and he keeps making his case. And that does a lot to explain why he is so beloved by so many Americans.
Joey.
Yeah, I want to go back to what you said about he's on message. And if you accept the premise that most of us on this couch accept, which is that what's happening in Georgia, the lawsuits in New York, and now this trial are politically motivated. They're geared towards helping President Biden win by defeating President Trump before he gets there. We have two men running for president. If you want to talk about on message, President Trump is running this campaign to the American people in a way like he didn't in 2020 or 2016 even. Because you're either meeting with Lake and Riley's family or you're keeping the border open. You're either meeting with Officer Diller's family or you're letting criminals out of jail. You're either Donald Trump or you're Joe Biden.
Just a reminder where Donald Trump was this weekend. This weekend, he was in North Carolina celebrating the legacy of wounded veterans with Sarah Verardo and the Independence Fund, honoring her husband, Michael Verardo, and the struggle he's going through. So amidst this criminal trial and being just persecuted on all different levels, that man is still serving the public.
Yeah, focused on message, and the message is about the American people. He is more determined and more focused than even 16 and 20.
I think
those
so.
years.
Yep.
I can see your point on that.
Yeah.
More outnumbered in a moment.
Yeah, I bet she's feeling the burn from that one, isn't she, huh? She just knew she was about to get onto something, and it got completely denied, which it rightfully should. She is doing everything to keep herself relevant. Nobody's going to be talking about her in a few months or something like that unless she keeps trying from different angles to do things towards Trump. But her reign of being in the public's eye, besides her cocked one, is going down. She's becoming irrelevant. She's becoming nothing that nobody's going to be talking about or anything like that. So she just gave a last ditch effort to try to find some angle to get at Trump again, and it did not work. Wonder what she's going to do now. Hey, Letitia James, do you still got that cock out on that building you wanted? Ha! Anyway, just wanted to deliver y'all that message right there. Let me know what y'all think on this. Do you think the judge made the right call? Because some of you guys may not be Trump supporters. You guys may be like, nope, the judge should have denied it. Do you think that Letitia James is trying to make herself relevant right now because she's just trying to stay in the public's eye because she's the lead person to go after Trump? Whatever the case may be, you just let me know what y'all are thinking anyway by putting it in the comment section below after this video. It is very imperative, folks, because this is good news. Usually when news about Trump is being put out there, is hardly ever any good news. There's always some type of news about Trump being prosecuted, being in trial, gotta do this, another fine, another fee, another story. But now you don't hardly hear about people like myself and others putting news out there how Trump is winning in some of these things. So like in this particular case, he won the appellate court by getting this $175 million, right? And now he just won against Letitia James again because she got shut down. So what I'm saying therefore is that by you guys hitting the thumbs up button or even by you sharing this video, commenting, it definitely puts this out because trust me, they're going to suppress this the best they can because the mainstream media, even YouTube itself, they don't want no news like this going out to you, the American people, to hear how Trump beat her again. They don't. So make sure you do that, all right? Hit this like button like I told y'all. This is what pushes it out there. Please, please, please do that and share it, share it, share it. Go into your cell phones, contact list in your cell phone. If you know anybody that is a Trump supporter or anything like that, just to deliver them some good news, tell them to check this video out if you would. Let's get it out there, folks, all right? I am Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man, and I hope and pray every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.